Without good blocking, your team's not going anywhere. Cisco blocks cyber attacks for customers around the world, including the entire Fortune 100 and the NFL. Because when the game is on the line, and it's always on the line, the NFL relies on Cisco.
To put on a few, top few loose ends, cover a couple situations, and get ready to go.
How much progress do you feel you made this week?
See you on Sunday.
Have you seen progress?
Yeah, tomorrow's a smart player. Yeah, he's not a huge target, but he's fast, he's quick, he's got good receiving skills. So, yeah, he can go.
Technique question on field goal block. When a blocker sort of dives low, for the player who ideally like to get their hands up or block it, do you want them to put their hands on them and then disengage and then leap up, or is it?
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, we left our hand on the blocker and didn't really do us any good. I mean, we just have to release it, like Wise did on the next one, or maybe it was the next two. I can't remember, but yeah, we can't put our hand on the back of a blocker and jump.
Bill, we're celebrating a legend this weekend in Scarnecchia. If you could give some words to a celebration of his career.
Yeah, Dante. Dante and I go back to when I was here in '96 with Bill, and so on the defensive staff it was Romeo, myself, Al, and Dante, and as a defensive staff, that was probably the best staff I've ever been on. And those four guys are really, well, three guys plus myself, but the four of us thought really worked well together. Had a great relationship. Then when I came back, Dante was the line coach here under Pete, and so I kept him as a line coach, and obviously he's a great line coach. So coach special teams, coach defense, coach offense, coach offensive line. Very talented coach, sees the full game, sees everything about the game, and very good teacher. Tough former Marine, but he can give tough love, but in a good way. It's a great guy to be around.
Do you still feel his impact this season, just around the team?
Well, all of our fundamentals are all things that I've taught, he's taught, we teach, so it's all, like, fundamentally the teaching isn't much different. It's probably not different at all.
What was the greatest lesson you might have learned from your time with him?
Many. But it really is just, being with him every day was, and the same with Romeo, and Al, but you learn and get inspired from people like that who are really good at what they do, and they see little things that help you become a better coach, and whether it's technique or scheme or observations they make, or things that you just pile into your memory bank.
Maybe in that same vein, any thoughts about Mike Vrabel?
Yeah, Mike was, Mike's one of the players I would say that really benefited from free agency. He was on a very good team in Pittsburgh, played behind two very good players, didn't get to play much defensively, played in the kicking game. We had a opportunity here. We were playing a 3-4 defense, and he was a 3-4 outside linebacker, and it was a good fit for him, and he had two good players ahead of him at Pittsburgh. And so came here, had a great career. Obviously, he was a great match for Willie. And Willie was a good compliment to him. Having been through the Banks-Taylor situation at the Giants, that's a good compliment to have two good outside linebackers versus one. Mike's was a really very cerebral player, smart player. Played inside linebacker for us when we needed him, which wasn't often, but he could do it. And he was the kind of guy in practice that would take reps at every position: free safety, strong safety, occasionally defensive line. If there was a certain player that we were trying to, replicate, he would jump in there and do that. And it was competitive, especially with him and Brady. Quite entertaining at times, to be honest with you. Mike had a great personality, great love for the game, passionate, high energy, very strong. Mike's really strong, physically strong player. Handled the tackles, obviously could handle tight ends. Was a good power rusher, and it had enough, moves to go with it. But his strength was his length and his power, and his intelligence. He's a good tackler. That was quite a workout, even at Ohio State when it was coming out. I mean, about a whole bunch of first-round draft choices. I mean, he wasn't one of them, but there was multiple first-round draft choices on that field. Just kind of like first-round pick over here, first-round pick over here, and first-round pick over there. Those are kind of back in the days when they all worked out at the same time. Now they space them out so that you can go from one group to another, but then they were kind of all over the place. So Mike worked hard, trained hard at Ohio State, in their program, and got some things from that. We took some things from that as well, that supplemented to what we were doing. So yeah, he's no surprise that he went into coaching. No surprise he's been successful. Just good, smart football player and coach. Good fundamentals.
Did you interview him as a prospect?
Yeah.
Do you remember anything about that interview?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Really smart. Mike, he can interview with, put him up against pretty much anybody. He's smart guys, grew up and played a lot of football and has a good football background, high school, college, training. It's all aspects of it. Really understands what the other side of the ball is doing, understands what he's doing, strengths, weaknesses. Played in a kicking game at Pittsburgh all 4 years, right? So good understanding of special teams. There's no real weaknesses in Mike's game.
There's still some time. How much anticipation is there for Germany?
Yeah, no disrespect, but let's just focus on Buffalo now. But yeah, look forward to that trip.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah, betcha. Multiple times, yeah.
So your speed move this week, have there been some decisions made on being players on PUP or IR?
Not yet. Probably won't announce those until Saturday.
Bill, how would you describe the general state of the health of the team? Obviously, we see the injury report, but
Yeah, the injury reports, it is what it is. We're required to list certain guys in certain areas based on what they do. But we'll see. Guys are working hard to be out there. They're getting better. Where will they be by game time? Might not know exactly where that is until we get a little closer to the game, but I think everybody's heading on the right track. And we'll see how it all turns out. But it's 2 or 3 concussion guys on there, right? So obviously they're going to be limited no matter what they do. So.
Coach, it seems like every team is running RPOs these days, and the Bills are one of the teams that use them at a higher rate. What are the advantages and disadvantages of those kinds of concepts?
It spreads the field laterally horizontally, and it kind of keeps the receivers from having to block. So you have to cover them. That takes a guy out to cover them. Somebody, however, depending on what coverage you're in. Somebody has to cover those guys in case the quarterback throws it to them. And depending on who the receiver is, that might be a higher percentage play than actually have him trying to block the player who covers them. If that makes any sense. So you eliminate the player one way or another by trying to block him or by trying to remove him. Get the ball up to space to a team that plays a lot of people in the box for the run on that particular play. If they're light outside, if the quarterback makes a good decision, it's well executed, then you can get the ball outside to a player in space fairly easily, and then if they go out and put too many guys in there, then you hand it off. So it's a different form of an option play. Disadvantages of you got to execute it well. You don't block somebody, throw it outside, ball gets batted down or batted up in the air, or things like that. Receivers got to make blocks in space. You're counting on them to make a block or two to get the play started. If they don't make it, then you could be looking at a negative play. So, like every play, it comes down to execution and certainly quarterback decision making on the RPO. Unlike a handoff where you're just giving the ball, that's there's no really decision to make there. But when it's hand it off or throw it, it's another choice for the quarterback.
We've heard players praise James Ferentz for his leadership skills. We've seen him on the sideline during games. What's kind of his role in games and how can we
Well, he's been inactive for all the games, so his role on the sideline is to help us with his experience and interaction with his teammates and the experience that he has as a player, and knowing our system and knowing the things that happen on the field that players see sometimes that coaches don't see.
Has there been any focus, obviously, at the start of the game, has there been, you guys have wanted maybe fallen behind early, has there been a greater focus recently on that faster start that you guys are looking for?
I don't know how much more we could put into it. We've emphasized it a lot. We've looked at it every week. We've given it a lot of attention, so we'll see, what the results are. But yeah, we look at it a lot. We talk about it a lot. We try to put ourselves in the best possible position at the start of the game as we can, which I'm sure every team does that with too. But it needs to be obviously better. So, but yeah, we are certainly aware of it and are working to make it better. Yep. Okay, thank you.